Dale Carnegie is a famous American author whose writing has influenced millions of people around the world, and his book here, How to Influence and Influence People, is a pioneer in the self-help world. I've read this book and I loved it, so here's 10 life lessons that I've gleaned from this book, which I hope you find useful. Lesson 1. Become interested in people to win them over. If you want to create friendships or relationships in general, you have to express an interest in that person. Curiosity leads to conversation, and conversation creates authentic relationships. An authentic relationship is, after all, grounded in mutual interest and reciprocation. Dale Carnegie uses the 26th US President Theodore Roosevelt as an example. When Roosevelt was expecting a guest, he would research his guest the night before receiving them to make a good impression. Roosevelt would mention things the guest liked to ignite a spark of geniality. In Dale Carnegie's words, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. Lesson 2. Admit your faults. Dale Carnegie teaches us the importance of amending our wrongs. Lying and adopting an aggressive approach will exacerbate the situation. Admitting you're wrong reflects the integrity of your character and a willingness on your part to redeem yourself. If you've made a wrong, be honest, accept it and move on. It will do you a tad better. In Dale Carnegie's words, if you are wrong, admit it quickly and empathetically. Lesson 3. Remember names. If you want someone to warm up to you, then remember their name. Doing so will elevate their outlook towards you. Remembering someone's name makes them feel valued. They feel unique and not just another body you're passing by. Remembering people's names is also a reflection of how good your memory is. In Dale Carnegie's words, remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Lesson 4. Listen. Being a good listener is vital in making others like you. If you don't want people to like you, then don't listen to them, and you'll find yourself becoming a target of ridicule in no time. Being a good listener and applying yourself equals progress. Dale Carnegie cites Sigmund Freud as an example of a good listener, and the positive impact it had on his visitors. The visitors of Sigmund Freud felt important. They felt that they were respected, appreciated, and understood by him, just because he listened to them. In Dale Carnegie's words, be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Lesson 5. Avoid arguments. Arguments rarely resolve a situation. If anything, they can make matters worse for the parties and people involved. Dale Carnegie teaches a diplomatic approach. Focus on understanding the point of contention and subsequently a meaningful resolution. In Dale Carnegie's eyes, winning an argument is a hollow victory. Think about it. For a moment you feel triumphant, but all you've done is aroused resentment in the other party and you've made that other party or person feel inferior. Instead, approach a situation with a cool, collected mind and focus on bringing that dispute to a close. In Dale Carnegie's words, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Lesson 6. Smile. Smiling makes us feel lighter. Your smile impacts who you come into contact with. Smiling at someone or someone smiling at you triggers a positive change in our psyche. Smiling is almost like this instant injection of joy. And there's a cool Chinese proverb that I remember reading about, which goes along the lines of this: someone without a smile should not open a shop. In Dale Carnegie's words, your smile is your messenger of your goodwill. Lesson 7. Express appreciation. In life, we often have to do things that we don't like, so you can imagine how the other person or the other party feels when they've got to do something they don't like or they've got to do something for us. It's important here to express gratitude for whatever is being done. Dale Carnegie reminds us that appreciation is a natural craving for all human beings in their daily interpersonal exchanges. In Dale Carnegie's words, give honest and sincere appreciation. Lesson 8. Avoid criticism. Criticism hurts. Before you fire your gun of critique, let's take a more soft approach. Perhaps being indirect is better, and Dale Carnegie even suggests starting off with praise before sliding in with the critique. Dale Carnegie uses the 30th US President Calvin Coolidge as an example. On one occasion, Coolidge was unhappy with one of his secretaries for punctuational errors, so he started by complimenting her on her dress. When the secretary blushed from praise, Coolidge gently told her to pay attention to her punctuation in future work. This method not only kept the professional bridge intact, but it also saved the secretary from feeling overly hurt. Dale Carnegie also invites us to understand why someone does something or why they abide by a particular belief before going down the critique route. In Dale Carnegie's words, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Lesson 9. Highlight the other person's wants. If we want something from someone, we'll do whatever we can to take it, but how often do we think about the other party? This is almost like bartering. You give and you take. This reciprocity creates a convivial byproduct in the relationship. Think about how we apply for jobs. We tell the employer everything we're bringing to the table, but what we often overlook is to highlight how what we bring will advantage the employer. In Dale Carnegie's words, arouse in the other person an ego want. Lesson 10. A leader spurs people onto success. The hallmark of exemplary leadership is not being militant, but empathetic and understanding. Deep down, we don't like taking orders, so Dale Carnegie says that where we want someone to do something, guide them towards the action by asking questions and highlighting the benefits. Emphasize the route, the actions required, and the result, and everything else will fall into motion. When someone is feeling deflated or despondent, the last thing that you want to do is kick them when they're down or admonish them. Instead, extend a hand, pick them up, guide them, support them, and help them on to better things. In Dale Carnegie's words, praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. And there you are, the 10 lessons that I've gleaned from How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. If you've already read How to Win Friends and Influence People, then excellent. Let me know in the comments box what your thoughts are. Dale Carnegie is a phenomenal author, and I've also done a video on this book on a previous occasion. I'll leave all the information in the description box. Finally, if you can support at least one of the Sikh charities, I'd be super grateful. All the information can be found in the description box. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Do like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, stay safe, and cheerio for now.